11 months ago, I was at the worst point in my life. I was indulging in junk food, games, movies, anything you can think of, I was probably indulging in it. And for some reason, I expected that to make me feel happy. I expected to enjoy my life if I continued up with all of these things, because in the moment I enjoyed it. But afterwards, when all of that was taken away, I didn't enjoy life at all. I hated it. I thought, why is my life so terrible? And maybe you're thinking this as well. It's probably because you're indulging in too much instant gratification. Now, instant gratification is any real thing that gives you an instant dose of dopamine or pleasure. Dopamine is the feel-good feeling, and dopamine is a thing that can be naturally generated in your body to make you feel good. But it can also be created, and this is what people who create video games and junk food and movies all are aiming to achieve, is to create a little bit of dopamine that gives you a boost, which makes you feel happy, which makes you then want to play more games, then want to eat more junk food, and so on and so on. This is how addictions are caused. Drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, these all give you a boost of dopamine, and funny enough, drugs, alcohol, and cigarettes are all seen as bad for giving you a big boost of dopamine, but stuff like hours and hours and hours of video games and packets and packets and packets of chips are seen as something that you should eat and you should enjoy, even though they do the exact same thing that drugs, alcohol, and cigarettes will do, just probably not on such of a big scale as like drugs, because drugs will give you a massive boost of dopamine, but they still give you a boost of dopamine and they can still easily get you addicted. Now, 11 months ago, I was addicted to games, video games, movies, any really form of dopamine that I could get my hands on legally, I was addicted to. Junk food's fine, other teenagers eat junk food, other teenagers play video games. If they do it, then it's fine. But just like the saying goes, if someone jumps off a cliff, are you going to jump off as well? And that was the kind of thing that I was using, was if someone else does it, and they're the same age as me, and lots of people do it, and they're the same age as me, and that should be fine. It should be completely fine for me to do so. And don't get this wrong. Dopamine is a very good thing. It's very powerful and it's very good to have. But the ways of getting it shouldn't be from instant gratification. It should be from delayed gratification. So, if you are indulging in instant gratification, which instant gratification is basically something that you can do right now, which will give you a short boost of dopamine, short boost of pleasure that'll make you feel good, but in the long term is probably negative to your health or negative to your life like that. And delayed gratification is something that you do now, which you might not enjoy, like cold showers as a good example. Cold showers have been proven to be positive to your health. So cold showers, when you have a cold shower, you're probably not going to enjoy it that much. It's probably not going to give you a boost of dopamine. You're probably going to hate it. But in the long term, having that cold shower is actually beneficial for your health. Same as in the long term of not eating junk food, it's beneficial for your health. The long term of not indulging in video games is beneficial for your mental health and physical health. Examples of instant gratification would be alcohol, drugs, cigarettes, video games, junk food, movies, little messages that you get on your phone, like your daily notifications from like people with Messenger, Facebook posts, likes on your Facebook posts, YouTube shorts, just short-term YouTube content, even long-term YouTube content. Like if you watch a podcast, okay, technically it's still giving you dopamine, but it's in a long form, which will improve your attention span. If it's not on rubbish, like if you watch a podcast on weed killer and you're not interested in weed killers, then why are you even watching it? It's just not as good as watching something that could be beneficial to you, like ways of making income, ways to improve your mental health, all stuff like that. So that's what instant gratification is. Now I'll give you an example of some long-term gratification. Long-term gratification examples would be cold showers, maybe meditation every morning. You might not enjoy it every morning, but in the long term it's beneficial for your health. It's also very good for your attention span. Gratitude journaling in the morning technically gratitude journaling in the morning is actually a short-term gratification, instant gratification. But it's not negative in any way in the long term, which is why it's awesome to have. Another example of long-term gratification is to pick a goal and go after it. So if you go after a goal, you're going to sit there working. Here's a good example. You have two people. You have Bob and you have Bill. Bob decides that he wants to build a tree house. Bill decides that he wants to build a tree house. Bob decides that instead of building the tree house, he's going to sit down and watch some other people build the tree house. Bob decides that he will sit there and he will go outside and he will collect the wood and he will give it a shot over and over and over. Bill knows that it'll take him maybe 2 months to build the tree house. Probably even less than that. Bob knows that it'll probably take him 2 months, but doesn't want to do it because it's not going to be fun, it's going to take 2 months, and blah blah blah. Don't worry, I'll just save up enough money and I'll pay someone else to do it. Don't worry, I'll just do it in the future when I've got more skills. Don't worry, I'll watch some more YouTube videos and they'll teach me how to do it quicker. Bill chose the long-term gratification. In the long term, he ended up getting a treehouse. Short-term gratification, Bob, on the other hand, ended up getting probably a shorter attention span and didn't get the treehouse built because he sat there, procrastinated, and just wasted a bunch of his time trying to learn more techniques and stuff. Basically, you get the idea. Instant gratification is bad in some sense. In most sense, it's bad, but there's some scenarios where, like gratitude journaling, that's very good. And long-term gratification is very good, but things to focus on is to cut out most of the instant gratification because it's not very good to have. Go and start doing some meditation, some gratitude journaling. Those two things I 100% recommend. These are the most important things that you can do today. If you want to do meditation, then as a form of long-term gratification, then I recommend you download the Medito app, which is Medito. And start with their beginner course and go all the way up to the end, and then you can do daily stuff and so on and so on. You'll work it out when you get the app. It's really awesome. I'll have a link to that in the description. The Medito app is very good for mindfulness meditation, which is what you really want to focus on. It's the mindfulness meditation. Helps with your attention span, and it also helps with just your mental health overall, and helps you to be a lot more mindful throughout the day about your thoughts and how you feel. And gratitude journaling is something that I 100% recommend because gratitude is something that can make you happy anytime throughout the day that isn't negative to any of your mental health or physical health or anything. It's not negative in any sort of way, and it's just basically allows you to be grateful for a lot of things that you have in life, which some people just aren't. So you can wake up in the morning, be grateful for a lot of things. At night, you can be grateful for a lot of things. And yeah, I'd recommend researching those two. I probably have a video on gratitude journaling and meditation. You can go check those out. I know I have one for meditation. I'll probably have one for gratitude journaling. I recommend you go check those out. Really good things, and I hope this video helped you in some way. If it did, please consider liking and subscribing. It would help me out a lot. And thanks for watching.